Well, I got the Silverado hood sitting out in the sun. Now the clear's been setting up for about 3 or 4 days now. See, I lose track of counting, but I'm gonna get some 1500. I don't know if you can see that texture in there. A little orange peely. I'm gonna hit it with some 1500 wet, and hopefully it comes out. And then I'll buff it up and see what happens. Well, I don't know if this came out any better. Right now it looks worse to me. And I don't know if you can see that. There's some scratches in there. It must have been some dirt or something on the sandpaper, even though I washed it really good with water and hosed off the hood with water. I still end up with scratches. So I think what I'm going to do is dry off these water flakes and get out the buffer, see what happens with a little compound. What do I got to lose? So there it is, buffed out with compound. You can still see some residue on there, but that rubs off with a rag. The scratches didn't come out with the compound, so I'm going to live with those. And look over here, it looks like I got a little aggressive on the edge. You got to be real careful about that. It's a rookie mistake, and I am a rookie. And right down to the primer there. But you know, I think it's good enough for now. I guess if I want to touch it up, maybe I could. I got a little bit of, tiny bit of paint left over. But take a look at this. This is kind of funny. Not funny. It's all over the side of the truck. And I'm going to turn the camera down. It's all over me. So doing this compound is messy work. But I still got the whole other side to do with the 1500 wet. And I'm going to get on that next. So here's the passenger side that I painted. And now it's been compounded. There's still a lot of compound left to come off. Hope that comes off with soap and water. I went over it a couple times. I don't want to get too aggressive with it, but it's still very orange peely. Still got a little texture to it, but you know, adds character. That's what I'm going to use as a sales point. Try to get rid of this truck as a work truck to somebody who can use it. It's a good truck, but I got to start putting it together now. Thanks for watching. Back on the Silverado. Time to start putting it all back together. I really don't even remember how this goes. My son took most of it apart, if I remember right. But there's the buffing job I did, and there's still compound on there I gotta wash off. But I'm gonna go grab the bumper. I think that would be the place to start and get the bumper back on and go from there. Well, there's the dry fit, meaning I just put it in place to see how it looks. There's a rubber or a plastic piece that goes on top that's going to snap into these slots here. But I can't find the bolts, so I got to go look for the bolts. And it's wet because it was all caked with mud. I just washed the mud off. And I guess this is a used bumper we picked up. Somebody decided to paint over the chrome for whatever reason. Match their tastes, I guess. But what I'll do is maybe wash that off. But maybe some acetone would take that paint off, or I can buff it off, or I can just repaint over it. But that's the least of my worries right now. Right now I want to try to find the bolts and get this bolted in. Well, I had to wake up my son, but I found the bolts where he told me they would be, right inside the cab in a plastic bag. And now I just got to bolt down these 2 bolts here, 4 bolts, 2 on each side, and then there's some kickers. They go back to the frame on the underside, which I'll take care of afterward. This will get it in place and stop it from falling off. There's one. There's a second one. Why these bolts are so long? Where's my socket? There it is. Nice. 2 more. Where do I put them? Right here. 1, two. Probably easier if I had an extension, but it needs a little nudge to get it to line up. Might need more than a nudge. Not there it goes. Nice. Bumper's in place. Let me just show you this real quick. So underneath here, I'll show you on the other side. Take two. Let me show you this real quick. On this side, there's this kicker. I don't know if you can see that in the dark. It slides up and it screws with two bolts to that tab coming off the frame. So I got to line that up on both sides next. It's starting to come together, but I don't like the way it's coming together. This is a donor bumper. Somebody tried to paint it black and it didn't really stick that well, so that's got to come off. And then this is the plastic piece that goes right here, and it's a little dirty and it's a little beat up on this side, and I can fix that, I think, with like a plastic welding kit, which I have. So I'm thinking the best plan here is to take this off and bring it into the garage and work in the shade and get it all nice and shiny in the way I want it before I put it on. It's only 4 bolts to take it off, maybe 6, I don't remember how many to put in. But I'm going to take this apart and bring it into the garage now. So now I'm trying to figure out how to get that black paint off the bumper. And I hit it with Scotch-Brite on a wire, not a wire wheel, on a Scotch-Brite pad, and it dulls the chrome, so I don't want to do that. So I'm thinking I might just have to repaint this and black it out and then be done with it. That might be the best solution here. Just make it go away. Either that, or I gotta go to Home Depot and get like paint stripper that won't harm the chrome. I'm kind of up in the air what to do here. I'm not sure why they would have painted that, but probably wouldn't hurt to take this out and wash it with soap and water too. It looks like I gotta make a little repair there as well. It's not that difficult, I think, I hope. Glue that back together, or weld that back together with the soldering iron. So while I'm waiting for the bumper to dry, I figure I'd put the door handle back on, and then, keeping with the tradition of doing everything twice, right after I put it on, I noticed I never wiped off the excess compound. So I just took the handle right back off again. It's 3 nuts. Now let me just wipe that out. Look at that, it barely comes off. Scrub that off real good so it doesn't show when I put the handle back on. There, that looks 100% better. It's still not a great paint job, but leaving all that compound in there, it's not going to look that great. And I can see I probably should have put a little more paint on there as well, but it is what it is, and I'm moving forward. So what I ended up doing is taking this back outside, washed it with soap and water, got all the mud and the dirt off it, and then same thing with the black plastic piece that goes on the top right here. Got it all cleaned up, and I'm looking at that, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to paint that with some black Rust-Oleum bed liner. Give it that a little industrial look, little texture to it, That's one coat. I can see where it kind of shows through just a little bit where the chrome was. But stripping it of chrome just didn't seem to make any sense. So I've got the first coat on. And I'm going to give it about 30 minutes to kind of set up. And I'll put a second coat on and be done with it. That's the same treatment I did to the rocker panels when I replaced them. I just covered them with this Rust-Oleum bed liner. Gives it a nice look. And I'll just keep assembling, getting this thing packed together. So I got a million little things to do on this truck, and one of them is replace this handle. This is jiggling like that. It's because it's broken. Got a new assembly from Amazon. I think it was about 15 bucks, and a new bezel because there was no bezel. I think I'm saying that right, bezel. But you know, $25. Then the tailgate will be working properly. And it's pretty easy to change. Just 3 screws, the bolts are on the back side. And then what I also did, as long as I had it apart, I took this off here, pulled it out, lubricated the whole insides, and you do the same thing to the other side. And they just connect to these rods right here. Where are they? And that's the mechanism that opens and closes. So I'll change that real quick. There's the old one removed. You can see this broke, snapped right off right there. I don't know why. Probably, if I had to guess, it's probably something jammed and they forced it and it snapped it. It only seems to be pot metal. This one seems to be plastic, the new one. But put it back in there. There's the bolts. There's 3 of them coming from the other side. That just goes in. Line up the bolt holes. Reconnect those rods. And I'm done. So I just polished up the tailgate just because I wanted to clean out any of that splattered compound that was in the back here. But then I just said, you know what, I'll just do the whole thing. You know, it really came out good. So that's what a factory finish looks like, polished up. And of course, I don't know if you could see them. There's some flaws, you know, nicks and chips, because this is a almost 20-year-old truck. That's the original paint as far as I could tell. And I just got to put this piece on here. The only reason I'm not, it goes on with some two-phase tape there. And I don't want to put it on permanently until I put the tailgate onto the truck, which is right over there with the old bumper sticking out of it. So before I go and put it on, I got to take that bumper out. And it's just so hot outside. I don't really want to be bothered to do it right now. I barely want to bring the tailgate in. It's so hot out there. I like working here in the shade. So now that this is all polished up and ready to go, I'm ready for another coat of paint on that bumper right there. And that should be it for today. I don't know if this counts as a hack or not, but what I do is take the brush and I grab it with my hand, which is in a glove, and then pull the glove over the brush, just so the brush doesn't dry out while I'm waiting for the other paint to dry. Because then I'd have to buy another brush at, 62 cents. So I'm just going to pull that out of the glove and have at it again with another coat of paint. I was lucky enough, a friend of mine stopped by. He was just happened to be in the neighborhood. He called me up. I was like, hey dude, while you're here, let's put this hood on. And I got the bumper on. I still got to put that plastic cover over the bumper, and I threw the grill on. That comes on and off real easily. But I just wanted to show you guys the progress I'm making. Now, one thing I just noticed here is this gap. I think I need to just snap the hood down to the next click, and it'll close that gap, but I'm not sure. But I think this is a good place to end the video and thank everyone for watching and putting up with my, whatever you want to call that kind of work I'm doing. But thanks for watching, and hopefully get this finished up and out of here.